Speaking of too long, but it is time for a break. And
would you like me just to sing one little song?
Perhaps later. It is time for a break. It is time for a break, and those of you who watch Bert's show will know that when we do have a break, the most important thing to do is to introduce somebody. So, ladies and gentlemen, now here's Moira.
You old devil. You didn't tell me last night you were going to be here. Thanks for a great night, by the way. That chandelier bit, good, that's fabulous. What about the leather?
Thanks, Bert. Well, today on Buyers World, we are going to find out a lot more about a brand new seniors magazine designed to appeal to oldies everywhere. Now, it features the usual sorts of articles, cooking, sewing, knitting, exercise, and we're going to find out a lot more about it by having a chat to their chief correspondent.
Hello, Rosemary.
It's Moira.
What?
Moira.
Who is?
I am.
You are what?
Never mind. Look, tell us all about the new magazine.
Oh, well, it's going to be lovely, dear. It's actually filling a gap that is glaringly obvious for a very large part of people who are not being catered for.
It sounds wonderful, Miss... Actually, what's your name?
Actually, it's Mabel Moffat, but I thought it'd be more professional, so I've changed it to Harmony Charisma D'Alessandro. I think that's more professional, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. What would you like me to call you, though?
Flo.
Flo. Okay, well, let's have a bit of a chat about your position at the magazine. By the way, what's the name of the magazine?
You know, you're only young once, so you might as well make the most of it.
Very true, but what's the name of the magazine?
You're only young once, so you might as well make the most of it.
Okay. Flo, what's in the first issue?
Well, I'm very excited. In addition to all the other duties that I'm doing, I'm going to be reviewing all the new movies that come out. And in this first edition, I'm going to be reviewing Cleopatra, starring Elizabeth Taylor, On the Waterfront, starring Marlon Brando, and Citizen Kane, starring Orson Welles. But the big scoop, is I'm going to be reviewing Bert Newton's autobiography.
Flo, the movies, I hate to tell you, they're really, really, really old. And I know for a fact that actually Bert's book was published in 1977.
Well, I've been really snowed under lately, Kerry Ann.
It's Moira.
Whatever.
So, what is your opinion of Bert Newton?
Oh, well, I'm sure he's a very nice person, but he's made some very strange career choices.
What do you mean?
Well, for instance, when he was trying to lose weight and he made that Jenny Craig ad, do you think it was good of him to refer to himself as the Duchess of Pork? And those two children, they're not much of a credit to him, are they? I mean, that boy looks as though he belongs in some gang, and that delinquent girl, I mean, should she be allowed to make records? And he's gone to the pack, he's grown his hair long, and he's got tattoos, and he can't even use the remote control on the television. What?
Are you talking about the Osbournes?
Who?
Ozzy Osbourne, and I really think you meant the Duchess of York a little earlier.
Who?
Oh, never mind. Why don't we actually hear from celebrities now who heartily endorse Bert's book?
Darlings, this book has changed my life. I used to think I was sick, twisted and perverted. But since reading Bert Newton's own story, I've just discovered I'm really quite normal.
wish you'd take any notice of all those bitchy, nasty people, darling. I just adored your book. Unfortunately, I didn't quite finish it because I found it on the floor of a public toilet and some of the pages were missing.
I read it all the time. It cures my constipation.
Who?
Bert?
Bert who?
Bert Newton?
Never heard of him.
If I'm going to be honest, I must say that I was slightly disturbed by the book. I felt it was totally unnecessary to mention the fact that Patty and I had a fruit stall once at the markets. I also found it disturbing that you revealed the fact about that one-night liaison with Maria Venuti behind the sheds at the Fitzroy Football Park that produced the love child Belvedere. But it explains a lot of things now. Bert, I just think honestly that you should have waited for everyone to die before you released this book. On a personal note, I was hurt to realize that on your list of favorite male singers I came in at 29, after Kamal and Izzy died. Bert, that hurt.
This book is the story of a man who's changed the face of the entertainment industry here in Australia. A man who's regarded as one of the finest performers this country has ever known. A man who's adored by millions, not only here in Australia, but all over the world for his sincerity, generosity, and undeniable talent. A truly wonderful, wonderful man. But tell me, why are people so unkind?
Well, there you go, Flo. What do you think of that?
Who are these people?
Do you actually know who Bert Newton is?
Not really.
Look for the new Seniors magazine at good news agencies everywhere.
And you can get a copy of his autobiography at any St Vincent de Paul's for 50 cents.
Thanks, Flo.
Thank you, Oprah.
Back to you, Mark.
Ladies and gentlemen, please thank Moira McLean. Come over. And also in her guise as Harmony, what is it, Harmony Charisma D'Alessandro?
Harmony Charisma D'Alessandro.
Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Tony Lamond.